Hello and welcome. I am Shannon, and you are on the Pick a Boots Vintage page. Today, we are going to finish up what we started yesterday. I'm feeling so much better. You can still kind of hear it in my voice, but definitely feel so much better. There I am. I had you on the wrong screen for a second there. Yesterday, I kind of showed you what we did at the Decoupage Queen Retreat. We learned so much, met some cool people, hoping to do some collabs with them eventually. Let me pull up the comments. So let's see. Let's go back down to our project. And I want to talk about what we're going to do with this. So basically, we put a pumpkin in yesterday. We put the cat on with the velvet powder. We cut out and put the witch on. So what we need to do is we're going to highlight the witch just a bit, make her stand out. We are going to use a crow, I've decided. And I have some of the leaves we're going to put on. And we're going to do the gate. So let's get started. Let me just tuck that cord out of the way. So now, in order to get the witch to stand out a little bit, we can either use some glitter varnish. We can use some metallic paint. Hey, Peggy. Thanks for joining. We can also, there's different things we can use. We can use some wax paste, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some of this. This is the metallic paint. This color is the lead. So see, it's lighter than the witch, but I'm only going to use it to highlight the lighter parts. So anywhere that it has the lighter, I'm going to use this on. I have kind of a small tip brush just so I can get into some of those tight areas. So you can already start to see and also her hair. Looks like her hair could use some too. There we go. Okay, so that's it for the lead. So that's a light color. Now we're going to go in with a darker color. We're going to go in with some glossy black. Just regular old acrylic glossy black. And I'm going to use the same brush. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just touch on the darker areas. The darker areas on the dress. Hey, Connie. You got the live notification. Yay. I noticed that you signed up for that yesterday. I'm glad it worked. Facebook has all kinds of new features, and I have to become familiar with them, and that was one of them. I love it. I do have a broadcast channel that I normally let people know on. Today I didn't do it. But I think this feature is going to be just perfect for Facebook. That way those who want to be notified will definitely get notified. All right. There we go. So you can see that just that little bit of paint really helps make her stand out. All right. I love it. Make sure you put your caps on nice and tight. That way you don't get a dry paint next time you go to open it. Oh, thanks, Connie. Yeah, there's a lot of us crafters out there, but we all definitely have a different style, for sure. Okay, so yesterday we painted the leaves, and they were kind of a greenish color, and I was not happy. So I played with them this morning, and I made them a little bit more you know, to a little bit more red and orange so they would blend better with the paper. I'm not exactly sure when to put one. Definitely I'm going to put one here. And I might put one over here, but I might put one up here to continue the 3D look, because we will probably put the crow up here. That way the crow will not interfere with the gate when we put it together. But before I decide that, let's go ahead and let's talk about the crow. Now the crow is going to be fun. Look at this crow that I did. I did this one years ago. So this crow I don't think fits as well as this one, so I want to do this one. But look at that shimmer. You know, have you ever seen a crow up close? It has that shimmer on it. It's more green, but we can add the green shimmer. I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing we need to do is we have to use the glossy paint. So let's go ahead and paint our crow glossy black. Probably should get a bigger brush. It's not going to be big enough. Let's see, here's a bigger one. So there is a time when you want to use matte, and then there's a time when you want to use glossy. We're going to be using the Chameleon pigment powder, and when you use the Chameleon pigment powder, you definitely want to use a glossy paint underneath. As I'm holding this with my fingertip, I always wonder how I get paint underneath my fingernails. Well, that's how. All right. So now we let that dry, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come in with some of the Rainforest, Midnight Ocean, and maybe a little bit of the Scarabus. These are all chameleons, so they're kind of shimmery right now, and they're kind of muted, but once you put them on the black, they pop. So that'll be good. All right, so let's move our little crow out of the way. Put him up here. And I'm just going to make sure that there's no wet black paint, because it will get all over everything. I probably should have used a separate piece of paper, but all right. What I'm going to do now is this needs to be framed in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the Antiquing Gel by Pentart. It's in black. The Antiquing Gel is really easy to use. I love using them. Let me show you why. I've already sealed. Yesterday we sealed it with a second coat of the varnish. So I know that the antiquing glaze is not going to really bite to the paper as hard. Kind of like when you're doing furniture, you always want to seal your chalk paint before you use a glaze. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go around the edge. And I'm going to kind of just smear it a little bit. See. And it's basically already dry. This stuff dries pretty quick. Now if I could do this with wax paste too, but I don't necessarily want the shine of the wax paste. So I'm going to start with the Antiquing Gel. You can also take a paper towel and just kind of rub it. You can also use a stamp pad to do the edges too. There's so many different options. I kind of like the eeriness of this black. And I might even bring it in certain different areas. Just add some more shading. Oops, a little bit heavy there. And I can go back over some if I think it's too light. Oops. There we go. So see the difference just that little bit makes? Just kind of frames in your project. I'm going to add a little bit more up here. I want it to be a little bit heavier. I'm going to feather just the edges a little bit just to bring. There we go. All right. I'll just wash my fingers off. All right. Next, what we're going to do, that is drying, which it should dry pretty quick. That's again the black antiquing gel. We're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the gate. What I've decided is I was going to do, I changed my mind from yesterday. We had talked about maybe doing it black and then putting some rust. Instead, I think I'm going to use, look at this one. This is the metallic. This is the sparkling gold, but it almost looks black. So I think it'll give it a nice, eerie kind of feel to it. So this is the color. All right, let's start. And the nice thing is when you're painting and you're creating, if you don't like it, it's super easy just to go ahead and paint over it. So as I'm looking on camera, it looks really gold, but it's not as gold in person. But it is sparkling gold. So it's got it's gold with a black undertone. Let me just show you. I'll pick it up. These little curly cues on the gate might take a hot second. I do love this color. This is one of my favorite metallic colors in the Pentart line. They also have a sparkling green, which is beautiful. And they have a sparkling brass. That one's really pretty too. And I'm sure they have more, but those are just the ones that stick out in my mind because they're my favorites. So obviously this is two-sided. So today we're just going to paint the front side just so we can finish up the front and have it see what it looks like. Now, this is a new product by Handcrafted Traditions. It's new cut. It's new to Decoupage Queen. So I really haven't seen too many people use this. I want to say that they tie it closed, but you could also leave it, stand it up for display. So we'll look at it both ways. All right, let's take a peek so far. So far, now it's the gold and these colors aren't blending all that well, but what we'll do is we'll tie in some black on these gates. Whether we use the wax paste or we use just some black paint. If you have any ideas, feel free to shout it out. This is going to take a second too. But don't worry, I'm only going to do the front side. I'm not going to do the back side today. If you're watching on the replay, you might want to fast forward this part. Also, I could actually take a little bit of this sparkling gold and incorporate it into my design here too to help tie it together. There's always options. Whew. Almost. Well, I will say that today earlier I was outside with the dogs, and it is absolutely gorgeous outside today. There's a really nice breeze, and I think it was just in the 70s today, which is really nice. I spoke to somebody yesterday in Florida, and where I'm from, and it's not quite that pretty down there. It's just, I mean, it's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but it's just a lot warmer. Okay. Almost. So what do you think? Do you think that this color is going to tie in well, or what do we need to do to it? Considering though it is a gate and it doesn't necessarily have to tie in. But I think that there should be some let's see. We're gonna let this dry a little bit, and then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put some, maybe we'll put some of this same black antiquing gel on there. And let's add, let's add a little of this gold color. Let's add it to, let's add it to her stick. Let's see if that helps tie everything together a little bit better. There we go. That kind of ties it in. And let's see, where else can I put some of this? Maybe just a little bit down here. Just over the black on the very bottom. This I think will help tie the gold in. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, so now I have to paint the other one. Let's just do it real quick. So, yeah, that looks good together. Okay. Now, what do you think? On the crow, should I put more green or more blue? You know, you've seen ravens before, crows, where they have that iridescent color to it. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue, depending on the way the sun hits it. All right, well, I don't have a lot of people on right now, and I know I never come on. I don't think I've ever been on a Sunday before, but I really wanted to come on because I meant to come on earlier in the week, 2 days, but getting back from the Decoupage Queen retreat, I was just down for the count, sick. And then when I started to feel better, my voice was just not there. And so yesterday was the first day that I felt that I could actually go on and not be, too annoying with the voice. I had thought about actually using the Decor tacky glue on here too, and then using the colored flakes. I wish it came in black colored flakes. I don't know if it does or not. I just know that I don't have any personally here, but I thought that would be pretty cool. And then I thought about putting the gold on, the gold colored flakes. I just thought maybe it'd be too bright, even though I could tone it down. I just figured I'll just use my favorite color paint here. For those of you that signed up for the Creating with Shannon kits, they are all packaged, sealed, and ready to be shipped out tomorrow. So be looking for that. You'll get an email from the post office when they get out, and it'll give you the date of when yours will arrive. Super excited, and I'm really excited about the next kit. The next kit I have planned, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it will be for holiday. And the next kit, like if there's somebody who didn't sign up but wants to sign up, I'm gonna open it up for just another 10 people, and I'm gonna do that probably in about probably mid-October, maybe before. I'm not sure, but I'll post it on Instagram and Facebook. I would like to keep my numbers small at first. I want to make sure I get a good handle on the kits. Want to do a good job. Okay, I'm almost done. Whew. But in the meantime, like if you're not one of the kit members, I'm going to also be doing some mystery boxes, and I'm going to be doing some workshops, because there are so many cool new IOD products coming out soon, and there's just going to be too many things that need to be made. But hint, yes, in the November box, there will be IOD in the box. I won't tell you what. Well, I can't tell you what yet because it hasn't even been released yet to public, but you're going to love it. All right, so that looks better. Still not 100% that it all blends. So what I'm going to do is, you know what, I might just take a little bit of the gold and just kind of use whatever's left on my brush to kind of smear the edges a little bit and see how that looks. Just a trace. There we go. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably end up using my favorite. You might as well just get it out now. Excuse me. The gold wax paste. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put just a very little on the edges. I don't want to overpower that black. I want that black to remain. But I think this will help tie in the color of the gates. There we go. Oh yeah, way better. Okay. So let's talk about placement of the leaves. Definitely going to put one here. Should probably balance it off and put one over here. Now these are the mold, the leaves, and then I'll probably put one right here. So let's go ahead and get our heavy body gel out. This stuff, heavy body. Hey, Gert, you want to sign up for a kit? Did you? Oh, you need to. I'll have to email you the information. I'm going to use, where is it? There we go. I'm just going to use a little popsicle stick. And now you don't need a lot of this heavy body gel. And by the way, yes, if you got a kit, you're getting heavy body gel in your kit. This stuff is amazing. What I really like about it is when you have resin and you need to glue something on, the resin isn't always flat. There might be gaps, but the heavy body gel will fill in those empty gaps. All right, so there we go. So we have our 2 leaves on. And then we're going to do our last one up here. And I'm going to put the leaf off center just a little bit here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the crow where he's standing on the twig and the leaf. All right. All right, let's look at our crow. Now, remember, I used the glossy black because that's what you need to do when you're using the chameleon powders. I just want to dry it real quick just to make sure. You don't want to start brushing on your chameleon pigment if the paint is still wet. I also need to start thinking about what I'm going to tie this together with, because you see the holes where they match up? Whether I'm going to use ribbon or if I'm just going to use wire. Alright, almost dry. It pulled up a little bit in the feathers. I feel a little bit better today, thankfully. Thankfully. I'm hoping to start the week out tomorrow feeling 100%. Almost dry. It's a little bit tacky. The glossy takes a little bit longer to dry, I feel. Then again, though, the heat comes kind of hot. I could just be melting the resin, right? All right. Now, these pigment powders are a lot of fun. Now, let me just grab a separate little piece of paper here, because it'll make a little bit of a mess, and I don't want to get it everywhere. So let me move this. Okay, so here we have our Midnight Ocean. Whoops, come on. And then we have our Rainforest. The Midnight Ocean is going to be more blue. The Rainforest is going to be more green. And then the Scarabeus, this one here, of course, will be more green. Now, you can either take your finger or you can take a brush. And all we're going to do is we're just going to brush it on and watch the magic. So, generally I like to use a nice soft brush. Let's see. You don't want it to be too stiff, or there we go. Or it won't brush on as well. So we're going to, now this one here has a lot of the Midnight Ocean. So let's do a little bit of the blue, the Midnight Ocean up here, and then follow it in with more of the green Rainforest down here. But just watch it. Let me zoom in for this so you can see this. This stuff is just amazing. I love this stuff. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so now we're going to go in. That was the Midnight Ocean. Now we're going to go in with some of the Rainforest. Ooh, see the green? And what's nice about these molds is you can really see the detail of the feathers. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right. And then let's use a little bit. I think this might be a brighter green, but let's just check. Ooh. Now, obviously, the whole entire raven won't be iridescent, but sometimes if you've ever seen one out or seen a picture of one and the way the sun hits it, look at that. There we go. I think it's perfect. All right, let me put the tops on these. I am prone to knock things over, and I love this stuff too much to waste it. Okay. So there is our crow. I just adore this crow. Let's bring our little gate part back. And so I'm thinking if we put it up here, and look, let me scoot this. Let me zoom back out. Sorry. So the blues and the green actually tie in really well to our panel. So this is perfect. Now we just have to decide on placement. I do want to make sure that it is part as leaning onto the panel because that'll help with the crow staying on and not falling off. But I need to make sure that wherever I put it, it does not interfere with the gate. And no, it does not. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and glue him on there. I'm going to, again, use the Heavy Body Gel. And now I'm going to pay attention to where I'm going to put the Heavy Body Gel because I only want to put it in the area that's actually going to be sticking to the panel. All right. Just a little bit more right here. Oh boy. So got a little bit too much here, so I'm just going to wipe that off. It does dry clear, but there we go. Give it a nice press here. Oops. I'm just going to wipe the excess off the glue. There we go. Oops. So look at this. So now we have our witch with our black cat and a crow overlooking all of it. And then we have our pumpkin. So we used the 3D. We use the pumpkin mold. We added a pumpkin here, a couple of leaves, and then the crow. Oh, I love it. All right, so I feel like the leaves just need a little bit of, it just needs something to show the detail. So I'm going to use I think I'm going to use, I can either use the black wax paste or, let's see, whatever would be a good color. Maybe a brown. Let's try the black first. And I'm just going to use my finger and just kind of dust some on. Yeah, that looks good. I just want to give a little bit of detail. And that occurs with the, let me show you. See the black? It just adds a little bit of detail and it makes the leaves kind of blend better with the background. All right. All right, so it's really coming together. The only thing left that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to paint the back, but I'll do that off camera. I won't bore you to death with that. And then I'm going to let all this dry, and then I'm going to tie it together. And then I will post a picture of what it looks like. I still think, I'm wondering if we should use something on the gate. So maybe some more black. Let's see. Well, the black wax paste look okay in here. Let's just try this. Ooh, thanks, Chris. Oh yeah, there we go. Little bit of black wax paste on here. Kind of takes away some of the brightness of the gold. It turns it down a little bit. Oh, I like that. And I'm just going to put it actually over the whole thing. There we go. So can you see the difference? It's subtle, but there's definitely a difference. Okay, so we're going to do it real quick to this side. In some areas will be heavier and some will be lighter with the wax paste, and that just makes it look a little bit more authentic because if you've ever seen a gate, unless it's brand new, the gate is several different shades and several different colors. There we go. So see that? See the black on there? All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all the glue dry. And of course, I'm going to paint the back. And then I'm going to tie them together. And then I'm going to post pictures. I hope this turns out as cool as I think it's going to. And I might need to do something else with the cat. I don't know if he needs eyes or not, if I should just leave him as a silhouette. I don't want him to look eerie, so I might play when I'm off camera. Anyway, this was just a quick live to come in and finish the panel because I know some of you were wanting to see what it was going to look like and what we were going to finish and if we were going to add the crow or not. And I think the crow really came out beautiful. So, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop it in the comments, or you can always DM me or email me or whatever. I always appreciate when you watch. If you're catching this, oh, let me go here. If you're catching this on the replay, please hashtag replay. And I will go live next week, but during the week, I generally don't go live on the weekends, even though I did this time. So look for me. Probably Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll probably post in the broadcast group, but you can also, if you type in the comments, apostrophe live, you'll get notified like Connie did. So if you want to be notified when I go live, just in my chat bot below, you can put apostrophe live all together and then you'll be notified.